students, we have already discussed about the meaning of democracy. We have gone through the types of democracy, direct, indirect democracy. We have also seen democratic government and non-democratic governments. We have seen both these type of governments having their own features. For example, in democratic governments, we have seen government is elected by the people. People is having the supreme power. They are having the right to vote and they elect their representatives. In non-democratic regimes, we have seen decisions are being taken by those leaders, those who are not elected. That is the broad definition. But there are some exceptions in which government is elected, but still that is not called democratic government. So conducting election is an integral part of the democracy, but only conducting election cannot recognize a government, a democratic government. So now we are going to discuss those things in detail. So before that, there are a few case studies that you have to know. These all belongs to chapter number 1 that has been omitted for your syllabus, from your syllabus. That chapter was democracy in the contemporary world. So you have to stick with that second chapter. What is democracy? Why democracy? It is chapter 2. But to better understanding, you should know about the chapter 1 also. So I am giving you some description related to the chapter number 1. So one case study related to Pakistan. Pakistan, do you know? One of the very friendly country. Friendly in what sense you can understand? So Pakistan. So in Pakistan, in 1999, there was a military coup. What is the meaning of coup? Coup. Coup means just replacing the existing government forcefully. जबरदस्ती उस सरकार को वहां से हटा दे. तो in 1999 in a military coup, army disposed prime minister. वहां उस समय एक इलेक्टेड प्राइम मिनिस्टर हुआ करते थे जिनका नाम था जो इलेक्टेड प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे, he was called नवाज शरीफ. वो इलेक्टेड प्राइम मिनिस्टर थे, चुनाव के द्वारा चुने गए थे. So by this military coup, आर्मी किसने किया? आर्मी ने, पाकिस्तान की सेना ने ही कूप किया, विद्रोह. और उसने क्या किया कि वहां के उस समय के प्राइम मिनिस्टर मिस्टर नवाज शरीफ को हटा दिया जबरन. मिस्टर नवाज शरीफ was disposed. He was removed from the office. And what had happened? The then military chief of Pakistan, Parvez Musharraf, he was the military chief of Pakistan. He himself became the chief executive of Pakistan. Means पाकिस्तान से ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर चले गए, इनको वहां से हटा दिया गया, इवन भगा दिया गया, उनको देश में घुसने नहीं दिया गया. He was on foreign tour when the coup had taken place. When Nawaz Sharif returned back by plane, Musharraf hadn't allowed this plane to land in Pakistan. So Mr. Nawaz Sharif hadn't reached Pakistan after the coup. So now Mr. General Parvez Musharraf was the head of Pakistan. What kind of head? Was he elected by the people? No. But he became the leader. At first, he took the title of Chief Executive of Pakistan. Chief Executive. And in 2000, he named himself as the President and remained head of the army. वो President भी रह गए. 2000 में उन्होंने नियमों को बदल दिया. After amending the Constitution, he himself declared President of Pakistan and remained head of the army. Army भी इनके अंदर ही रहेगी. वो Army Chief भी रहेंगे, President भी हो गए. He dissolved नेशनल असेंबली, वहां की संसद को डिसॉल्व कर दिया, स्टेट असेंबलीज को डिसॉल्व कर दिया, और उन्होंने क्या किया? ही जस्ट फॉर्म्ड अ ग्रुप ऑफ मिलिट्री ऑफिसर्स जिसको उन्होंने भास्ट पावर दी, जो भी डिसीजंस अब होगी दैट शुड बी एग्जामिन्ड बाय द दैट पर्टिकुलर ग्रुप ऑफ मिलिट्री ऑफिसर्स, तभी वो इंप्लीमेंट होगी। और इस चेंजेस के बाद तब मुशर्रफ ने इलेक्शंस करवाए। इलेक्शंस करवाने के बाद कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन चेंज, इलेक्शंस करवाए, इलेक्शन करवाने के बाद जो भी गवर्नमेंट डिसीजन लेती थी, सो कॉल्ड इट वाज इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट, बिकॉज नाउ द गवर्नमेंट केम आफ्टर द इलेक्शन, people had voted, but whether this government can be called a democratic government, now we have to see. This government, even though elected by the people, people voted for that, but whatever decision this government is going to take, it should be examined and approved. It must be examined and approved by that group of military officers, that is Security Council, formed by Parvez Musharraf, and this Security Council was directly under the Parvez Musharraf. So even though the government was elected, but this government do not have any real power. You can say this government is just like a puppet to the hands of the Parvez Musharraf. So final decisions do not lie to the hands of elected government. The final decision lies to the Security Council or to the hands of the Parvez Musharraf. Musharraf himself was not an elected person. Even though he conducted a kind of referendum, he was trying to declare himself President of Pakistan for life. So in this scenario, what we get? What we conclude? We conclude that only election cannot determine the nature of the government. So what is important? Who is going to take decisions? Over here. Who is going to take decisions? Whether it is an elected government or someone else. So over here in Pakistan, the decisions are being taken by Parvez Musharraf. He was not an elected person. He came in power after the military coup, and there was a Security Council, a group of military commanders who were keeping their eyes on each and every decisions of the government, and actually they were the authorities who were approving those decisions. So in that scenario, government of Pakistan under Parvez Musharraf can't be called democracy. Why? Because who are having decision-making power? The military commanders and Parvez Musharraf. They were not elected by the people. And elected government do not have the real power. So this is one of the important features that you have to remember. Next, another example we are going to discuss about the Poland. Now Poland, case study of Poland. So during 1980s, there was a party in Poland, Polish United Workers Party, ruled in Poland. This is very much important. Why I am emphasizing upon that? Because this party is the only party that was operating in Poland. एक पार्टी, यानी कोई दूसरी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी वहां रूल नहीं करती थी, वो वहां पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर सकती थी, वो किसी भी पॉलिटिकल एक्टिविटी में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं करेगी। I have written, no other political party could take part. मतलब यही है बॉस, अकेला दौड़ने वाला, कोई कंपटीशन नहीं, always first, always won the election. Elections will be held, but how many parties are going to be participate? Will you? एक पार्टी का ही राज था, that is one party system. हार भी इसकी, जीत भी इसकी, हमेशा पावर में यही, पता ही नहीं चलेगा, और वैसा फर्स्ट आएंगे दौड़ने वाले रेस में, कंपटीशन में, अकेला पार्टिसिपेट, ऑलवेज स्टूड फर्स्ट। अब हुआ क्या? That government was working on the non-democratic principles. This government was supported and controlled by USSR. आपको पता है USSR कौन? जिसको आज मॉडर्न देश रशिया कहते हैं। यूनियन ऑफ सोवियत सोशलिस्ट रिपब्लिक, यूनियन ऑफ सोवियत सोशलिस्ट रिपब्लिक, ये 1917 में रशियन रेवोल्यूशन के बाद इसके एस्टैब्लिशमेंट है। तो ये इससे गाइडेड होती थी, ये कम्युनिस्ट गवर्नमेंट थी। यहां वर्कर्स डू नॉट हैव राइट टू फॉर्म ट्रेड यूनियंस, नो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज, strikes was not the right of the workers, and every activities were controlled by the government. Raging wars against the decision of the government seen as a sedition, as a crime. This was the situation. What had happened? There was a turning point. On 14th August 1918, workers of Lenin shipyard in the city of Gansak went on a strike. Actually हुआ क्या कि इस लेनिन शिपयार्ड में काम करने वाले एक मजदूर को, एक महिला मजदूर को निकाल दिया, डिसमिस कर दिया अनजस्टली। इसके खिलाफ लेनिन शिपयार्ड के मजदूरों ने स्ट्राइक कर दिया और ये स्ट्राइक बहुत मैसिव हो गई। इवन दो कि स्ट्राइक्स वाज नॉट अलाउड, इट वाज नॉट परमिटेड, इट वाज अ वायलेशन ऑफ रूल्स, बट दिस टाइम द वर्कर्स यूनाइटेड ऑल ओवर पोलैंड, all factories, every activities were closed, factories were shut down, workers were out of the work, they all were on the street. This movement got a leader, Lech Walesa. Lech Walesa was once upon a worker, a crane operator. Over there, he was also a worker of that Lenin shipyard. He was also dismissed unjustly earlier. So now he was the leader of this movement, and this movement becomes so strong that government had to put his legs, knees down in front of the movement. So now government put its knees in front of the movement. There was an agreement. Accordingly, government agreed to conduct free and fair election at first time in Poland, and it was held when in 1989 there was an election. In that particular election, more than one party could participate. This is the first time when more than one party could contest the election, and in that particular election, party led by Lech Walesa, that party becomes Solidarity. The movement, this movement led by Lech Walesa ultimately formed a party called Solidarity. And that becomes so popular, you can imagine the scale of popularity. Elections were held for 100 seats, and out of 100, Solidarity won 99 seats. And then after, there was a elected government. In 1990, Poland was having the first presidential election. और उस elections में Lech Walesa जीतते हैं और ये पोलैंड के प्रेसिडेंट बनते हैं. So this was the government elected by the people. अब देखिए क्या मिला. मैंने कहा केवल ये वर्कर्स पार्टी थी, इलेक्शंस हो रहे थे लेकिन एक पार्टी थी. तो क्या पीपल डू नॉट हैव चॉइस? चॉइस मीन्स कि हम अगर इनको नहीं चुने तो किनको चुने? Nowadays you are having a variety of range of toothpaste in the market. Pepsodent, Close-Up, Colgate, Dantkanti, flana. It is up to you. Whichever toothpaste you like, you may take those things. But if you are having only one option, what will happen? You don't have any other option. If you are willing to have a toothpaste, you have to go with that particular taste. So no choice. So in democracy, there must be a meaningful choice. People should have their own way of decision कि हम इसको चुने या उसको चुने. जैसे यहाँ तो रेस में दौड़ने वाले एक है, ऑलवेज वही जीतेगा. There must be some competitor so that people should have alternatives. तो यहाँ people को चॉइस नहीं थी. तो डेमोक्रेसी में इलेक्शन ही महत्वपूर्ण नहीं है. चॉइस मीनिंगफुल इलेक्शन होनी चाहिए. तो कहते हैं डेमोक्रेटिक इलेक्शंस में वो इलेक्शंस में चॉइस होनी चाहिए और साथ में वो फ्री और फेयर भी होने चाहिए. अब ये फ्री और फेयर क्या मतलब होते हैं उसको देखेंगे आप लोग. अच्छा, इसके पहले जो पाकिस्तान का एग्जांपल देखे उसमें क्या देखें? डिसीजन मेकर्स कौन होने चाहिए? इलेक्टेड लीडर्स। तब डेमोक्रेसी, यानी ये फीचर्स देखिए आ रही है। डेमोक्रेसी में एक में निकला कि पावर, डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर वेस्टेड इन द हैंड्स ऑफ द इलेक्टेड लीडर्स। इलेक्शन मस्ट बी देयर एंड इलेक्शंस मस्ट प्रोवाइड चॉइस। देयर मस्ट बी अ चॉइस। इस इलेक्शन में क्या होना चाहिए? चॉइस होनी चाहिए। अगर एक ही बंदा है तो उसमें चॉइस नहीं है, कोई इलेक्शन नहीं है। तो ये सेकंड एग्जांपल और केस स्टडी हुई। अब हम लोग मूव करेंगे थर्ड की ओर और वो पढ़ेंगे हम लोग चिली कंट्रीज। नाउ केस स्टडी ऑफ चिली, इट इज आल्सो रिलेटेड टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ डेमोक्रेटिक वैल्यूज एंड प्रिंसिपल्स। सो देयर वाज एन इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट, like there was an elected government in Pakistan under the leadership of Nawaz Sharif. So over here, Chile was under the democratic government and it was headed by President Salvador Allende. He was a very kind personality and he worked a number of things for the betterment of Chilean people. He has started a number of policies and programs to uplift poor people. He also nationalized the resources of Chile so that Chile could become self-reliant. He has stopped exporting minerals from Chile to European countries and USA. So that made USA very much angry. And it is a reality. USA was not happy with Allende's government. Even in Chile, a number of industrialists were also not happy. Actually, those who were getting finance from USA companies, they were not happy with the Chilean government when Allende had nationalized all the resources. So, with the support of that USA government, there was a military coup. We have already seen the meaning of coup when we are discussing about case study Pakistan. So, in 1973, again there was a coup in Chile. General Augusto Pinochet, the commander, chief of army in Chile, he started the coup and he just surrounded the parliament house of Chile. A number of members of parliament and ministers were imprisoned. Allende's house, that is president's house, was bombed by Pinochet and in which president was killed. Allende had been killed. And then after, Pinochet himself declared president of Chile. And he ruled next 17 years as a president of Chile and he ruled in a dictatorial type of way. Means he was not a democratic leader. He was just ruling a Chile as a dictator. Again, it was not an elected government. The government came in power by force. तो जबरदस्ती कहते हैं, चुनी हुई सरकार को अपदस्थ करके, हटा करके, जबर फोर्सफुली दे केम इन पावर और 17 इयर्स वो वहां पे रूल करता रहा। इस पीरियड में he killed all those people, those who were criticized their government. Those who were criticizing their rule, indiscriminate killing was there. It was the inhuman act of killing of such kind of large number of people. He was also accused for such kind of massacre. Under the great pressure coming from different organizations in the world, ultimately Pinochet tried to declare and show himself as a elected leader. So he conducted referendum. Referendum is a process in which people have been asked to give their vote either in the favor or disfavor of any proposal. So over here, Pinochet put the proposal that whether he should continue as a president of Chile or not. He was hoping that he could win the election, and for that he had done a number of manipulations. But here, the people of Chile were very much determined. They were very much convinced with the idea of democracy. They remembered the words of Allende
in his last speech, Allende has claimed a day will come when the people of Chile will decide their future. They will not accept dictatorial type of government, and it came true in 1918 in a referendum. Pinochet was defeated, and that came to an end of the Pinochet's rule. And after that, there was an election, and after the election, there was a democratic government. And very much important, I would like to mention one more point. In 2006, Michelle Bachelet became the first female president of Chile. Why I have emphasized upon this name? Actually, when Pinochet had started the coup, he killed parents of Michelle Bachelet. Michelle Bachelet's father was the chief of Air Force of Chile. Chile के Air Force के chief थे. First Pinochet offered him to join his hand, but he refused. He was a loyal person. He refused to be a part of that coup. So in that day, he had been killed. On that time, Michelle Bachelet was very much a child. So see, this is called power of democracy. Earlier, Bachelet became the minister, and then after she became the president. So what we draw the conclusion over here again? See, in democratic government elected by the people, and people enjoy a number of rights. Even a female person, a woman is also having equal rights. Means democracy is based upon equal rights. People could enjoy equal rights. People must have their own way of making decisions. They should not be forced. In the case of referendum, people of Chile show that they like democracy, not the Pinochet rule. So this is the scenario. So we have to conclude one by one, just result from these examples regarding the democracy. These governments cannot be called democratic. Why? We have just across the things, examining the things. So next example that we are going to discuss, it is about China. Next is China. Very simple. In China, it is our neighboring country, and China is also the largest populated country in the world. So in China, there is one party system. Simply remember, one party system, and the party is the Communist Party of China, CPC, Communist Party of China. So only this party is allowed to participate in the elections. The members of this party will head the political offices. No other political parties, associations will allow to work in China. And the Chinese parliament is called National People's Congress, or in Chinese it was Qinggu Renmin Dao Dahui. This was the Chinese name of the country's parliament. You have to remember, only National People's Congress, and having 2,987 members. So elections were held to elect the members of parliament after every 5 years. But what is the result? Always the members of Communist Party of China won the election. Means all the political offices, president, prime minister, whatever ministers, whatever members, they all belongs to Chinese Communist Party. There were few organizations that could participate in, but these all were the affiliated organizations of Communist Party of China. दूसरे जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हैं वही ऑपरेट करते हैं जो चाइनीज कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी के क्या होंगे, एसोसिएटेड होंगे, उनसे जुड़े हुए होंगे, और बिना इस पार्टी के अप्रूवल के कोई भी बंदा चुनाव नहीं लड़ सकता है। मींस कोई चेहरे बदल रहे हैं, नाम प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ चाइना ए हो सकता है, बी हो सकता है, सी हो सकता है, डी हो सकता है, बट दे ऑल बिलोंग्स टू द सेम पार्टी, दैट इज Communist Party of China. They all belong to the same party, so the policies, programs, decisions nature of the government will remain same. So what we conclude from here? We conclude that in China, people do not have choice. यानी उनको अपने पसंद के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को चुनने का अधिकार नहीं है. तो ये क्या डेमोक्रेसी कहलाएगी? नो. डेमोक्रेसी ऑलवेज एम्फसाइज a meaningful choice. People must have meaningful choice. A free and fair election means people must have a meaningful choice. In case of China, there is no as such choice. So Chinese government cannot be called a democratic government. Next we will discuss about Mexico. The case study of Mexico. Okay. Now next, Mexico. Mexico की स्थिति भी बहुत कुछ मिलती जुलती है. बाकी जो उदाहरण हमने पढ़े हैं उनके साथ देखिए क्या होता है. यहां भी डेमोक्रेटिक प्रिंसिपल्स को कैसे वायलेट की जाती है. तो प्रायर टू 2000 यानी 2000 ईस्वी से पहले मैक्सिको हैज अ डोमिनेंट पार्टी सिस्टम. डोमिनेंट जहां किसी एक पार्टी विशेष का दबदबा होगा. एंड दैट वाज द पार्टी कॉल्ड PRI. इट इज कॉल्ड PRI, namely Institutional Revolutionary Party, PRI. It was dominant party. And this party was remain in power for so many years, even though there were a number of other political parties contesting the election, but they never managed to win the election. In every election, PRI won the elections. Other political parties, they never challenged the PRI in terms of election results. Why? Simply we can say people were very much happy with the PRI? Not at all. Actually, PRI had adopted a number of malpractices. The practices means pressure building practices, tactics to pressurize the voters, to create fear among the voters, that if they will not give the vote to them, they were going to be punished. This was the scenario. Take one example. Teachers, school teachers, government officials were pressurized to convince parents. Teachers were pressurized to convince their parents, students' parents, to cast the vote to the favor of PRI. Officers were also pressurized. Otherwise, they were going to dismiss from their jobs. On the day of election, at the last moment, PRI government, because on that time government was in the hands of the PRI party, because they were running the government. So government was also not playing a fair role. Government was just trying to always support win of PRI, and government was following the same policies. So at the last moment, election booths were changed, especially to those areas where PRI was having the doubt that people could not vote them. So election booths from those areas were transformed from remote areas or far away, so that less people could go over there to vote. So this was the scenario. Means PRI was adopted a number of practice that is going against the democratic principles. तो यहां आपने क्या देखा? इलेक्शंस हैं, ऑपोजिशन भी है. गौर कीजिए, इलेक्शंस हैं, ऑपोजिशन भी है. ऑपोजिशन भी है यानी कि चॉइस यहां है. इलेक्शंस हैं, ऑपोजिशन है, मींस चॉइस है. आपने देखा चिली के केस में एक दूसरा नेचर था. पोलैंड में अल्टरनेटिव में एक ही गवर्नमेंट, एक ही पार्टी चुनाव लड़ेगी. चाइना में भी एक ही पार्टी. यहां देखिए पार्टियां हैं, लेकिन क्या हो रहा है, वो कभी जीत नहीं पा रही. क्यों? बिकॉज PRI माल प्रैक्टिस कर रही है. मसल पावर है इसके पास, ताकत से अपनी विरोधियों को हटा रही है, पैसा खूब खर्च कर रही है लोगों को अपनी तरफ मिलाने के लिए. दिस इज नॉट एज पर द फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस नॉर्म्स. इलेक्शंस हो, लेकिन इलेक्शंस कैसे होने चाहिए? फ्री एंड फेयर. मतलब इलेक्शंस कैसे होंगे? फ्री एंड फेयर. तो मतलब डेमोक्रेसी में क्या क्या निकल गया? डेमोक्रेसी में डिसीजन शुड बी टेकन बाय द इलेक्टेड लीडर्स. इलेक्टेड लीडर्स मींस देयर मस्ट बी इलेक्शंस. इलेक्शंस क्या होना चाहिए? मीनिंगफुल, यानी पीपल मस्ट हैव मीनिंगफुल चॉइस. एंड अनदर थिंग, द इलेक्शंस मस्ट बी फ्री एंड फेयर. यहां फ्री एंड फेयर नहीं. इवन मीडिया वाज अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ पीआरआई गवर्नमेंट. ये मीडिया केवल पीआरआई के ही प्रोग्राम्स को फॉलो करती थी, उसकी रिपोर्टिंग करती थी, और अपोजिशन पार्टी के किसी भी इवेंट को वो तरजीह नहीं देती थी. तो मीडिया ओपिनियन बिल्डर है. तो मीडिया वाज वर्किंग एज अ यूनिट ऑफ पीआरआई, जबकि मीडिया को इंडिपेंडेंट होना चाहिए. इन अ डेमोक्रेसी मीडिया इज रिगार्डेड एज अ फोर्थ पिलर ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी, बट ओवर हियर मीडिया वाज वर्किंग एज अ part of the PRI. So there is no sense of free and fair election. This is the tragedy regarding the Mexico. So today Mexico is having a government, a democratic government. The domination of PRI has been ended, but till this period you can understand we cannot consider Mexico as a democratic country. Next topic that we are going to discuss, the example, it is Gold Coast, Ghana, JANU PF party. So coming to that particular point, JANU PF, Ghana. Next is Ghana. It is also called Gold Coast. So Ghana was also a colony of Britain. During the freedom struggle, Nkrumah, Mr. Nkrumah, a revolutionary, emerged as a leader of independence struggle of Ghana. Ghana की आजादी कराने में एक सबसे बड़े व्यक्ति के रूप में उभर गया. And after independence by the hands of Britain, Ghana was the colony of Britain. जैसे इंडिया थी आजादी के बाद. Mr. Nkrumah became the prime minister at first. He was very much popular leader. Remember, he was very popular in Ghana. He emerged as undisputed leader of Ghana. He had worked very hard for the independence of Ghana. That is the contribution. And after that elections were held, he became the prime minister. Later he has been also elected as the president. That is the term. Once he became the president, he tried to hold more and more powers. He altered the constitution. He amended the constitution of Ghana and declared himself as a president for lifetime. See, Nkrumah was the popular leader, but popular leader, if become the leader of the nation, do not mean the government become democratic. Over here, Nkrumah declared himself president for lifetime. This is not the way of democratic government. In democratic government, no offices must be possessed by a person forever. People must have right to decide who could be the ruler. But declaring himself as a president of Ghana for lifetime, that goes against the principle of democracy. This is not a right way. So even though leaders are very much popular, but the government could not be called democratic. So remember one thing, popular leaders ruled a country doesn't mean the country become democratic. Here is the example. So this goes against the principle of democracy. Now, few more examples are there. It is small examples like Saudi Arabia, like Zimbabwe. So we are going to discuss about that also. So now next, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe was also a colony of whites. Means Zimbabwe was a colony of Australia actually. और वो इमर्ज करती है, इंडिपेंडेंस होती है 1918 में, और यहाँ पर फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल में सबसे बड़ी रोल थी जानु पीएफ पार्टी की, और उसके लीडर थे रॉबर्ट मुगाबे. कौन थे? रॉबर्ट मुगाबे. और आजादी के बाद जैसे कि हमने देखा पीआरआई के केस में, मैक्सिको के केस में कैसे वहां डोमिनेट करते थे, यहाँ हम देखने वाले हैं उसी प्रकार से. हमने ये भी देखा घाना के केस में कि कैसे घाना के अंदर एनक्रुमा अपने आप को सर्वशक्तिशाली साबित कर लेते हैं क्वेश्चन चेंज करके। यहाँ उसका भी एग्जाम्पल है। तो यहाँ क्या है कि रॉबर्ट मुगाबे द लीडर ऑफ द पार्टी टुक ओवर द रेंज ऑफ प्रेसिडेंट एंड कंटिन्यूड हिज रूल सिंस इंडिपेंडेंस, लगातार कई सालों तक वो लगातार, और हर बार चुनाव होते थे जानू पीएफ पार्टी हर बार जीत जाती थी। हर बार जानू पीएफ पार्टी जीत रही है, जानू पार्टी पीएफ पार्टी जीत रही है, कैसे? तो इट वाज अगेन अडॉप्टिंग अ नंबर ऑफ डर्टी टैक्टिक्स, और इफेक्ट करते हैं जुडिशरी को, इफेक्ट करते हैं मीडिया को, और इस प्रकार से वो जीतना शुरू करते हैं। पब्लिक फंड्स को वो मुगाबे पब्लिक फंड्स को ये अपने हाथों में रखना शुरू करते हैं, मुगाबे अपने यूज के लिए यूज करते हैं। और मुगाबे ने क्या किया कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को अमेंड करके क्या बना लिया खुद को प्रेसिडेंट, और प्रेसिडेंट बनने के बाद उन्होंने क्या किया, अपने आप को और पावरफुल बना लिया। अमेंडमेंट के थ्रू ही got more and more power, means president of Zimbabwe got more power but less accountable. अब accountability कम लेकिन पावर ज्यादा, गवर्नमेंट को डिसमिस कर सकते हैं, अगर उनके अनुसार गवर्नमेंट काम नहीं करेगी डिसमिस कर देंगे, प्राइम मिनिस्टर से लेकर सारे संस्थाएं उनके अधीन होगी, और इवन की जुडिशरी को प्रेशराइज कर रहे हैं कि वो जानू पीएफ पार्टी और उसके फेवर में ही डिसीजन ले। जुडिशरी वाज आल्सो हेल्ड रिस्पांसिबल और कंपेन कि आपको गवर्नमेंट के समर्थन में, गवर्नमेंट के खिलाफ कोई डिसीजन नहीं लेनी है। मीडिया वाज आल्सो अंडर द कंट्रोल ऑफ द जानू पीएफ पार्टी एंड मुगाबे। तो सी जानू पीएफ पार्टी और रॉबर्ट मुगाबे वाज पॉपुलर लीडर जस्ट लाइक एनक्रुमा was their popular leader, but what they had done, they had done a number of work that goes against the principle of democracy. So popular leader in Zimbabwe, popular leader Mugabe is there. In Ghana, Nkrumah was there. Both the countries were ruled by popular leaders, but popular leaders could not give the guarantee to have democratic government. So for the democratic government, there must be free and fair elections. Government must follow the rules of law. Means over here there will be rule of law. Rule of law. यानी कानून का शासन होना चाहिए। डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब ये नहीं है कि केवल चुनाव हो, डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब ये नहीं है कि कई पार्टियां हो, डेमोक्रेसी का मतलब है कि रूल ऑफ लॉ होनी चाहिए। मीन्स सबों के लिए नियम बराबर। नो वन कैन प्ले विद द रूल्स ओवर हियर इन केस ऑफ जिम्बाब्वे, इन केस ऑफ घाना बोथ द गवर्नमेंट्स वर प्लेइंग विद द रूल ऑफ लॉ। कानून का शासन नहीं है, मनमाना है, जो चाहे वो कर पा रहे हैं, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को जब चाहे अमेंड कर पा रहे हैं। सो दिस मींस लॉज आर just under the pocket of these leaders. So this goes against the democratic principles. So now few more examples are there. So it will take few more minutes to complete this particular portion. Now few more examples. One is Saudi Arabia. In Saudi Arabia till last year, कुछ साल पहले तक महिलाओं को right to vote नहीं थी, गौर कीजिएगा। Now women got the right to vote in municipal elections. So now coming to the next point, Estonia. People belonging to Russian origin sorry, are not allowed to vote. Russian origin के जो people हैं, they don't have right to vote. Next, in Fiji, franchisee system means voting right has been designed in such a way that value of indigenous Fijian, यानी जो फिजी के मूल निवासी हैं, उनके वोट का अधिकार ज्यादा है, जबकि जो इंडियन वहां पे हैं, आपको पता होना चाहिए कि फिजी की जो पॉपुलेशन कंपोजिशन है 51% पर 49%, ये 49% इंडियंस हैं वहां। यहाँ भोजपुरी बोली जाती है, उनकी मेजर लैंग्वेज है भोजपुरी, और यहाँ पे ये इंडिजिनियस फिजियंस हैं, यानी जो ओरिजिनल जो हैबिटेंट हैं ये वहां पे है 51%। तो फिजियंस के जो राइट्स है, जो ओरिजिनल फिजियंस है वहां रहने वाले, उनके वोट का वैल्यू ज्यादा है, जबकि यहाँ पे इंडियंस जो फिजियंस हैं इनकी वोट की वैल्यू कम है। तो आप यहाँ क्या देख रहे हैं? यहाँ देख रहे हैं कि सिटीजन्स के जो राइट्स हैं वो इक्वल नहीं है। तो मतलब कि हम ये भी देखते हैं कि डेमोक्रेसी में क्या होनी चाहिए कि सिटीजन्स के राइट्स होने चाहिए, ये ध्यान देने की जरूरत है। सिटीजन्स राइट, तो क्या क्या हम लोगों ने कंक्लूड किया? हम लोगों ने कंक्लूड किया डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट में गवर्नमेंट मस्ट बी इलेक्टेड बाय द पीपल, गवर्नमेंट डिसीजंस आर टेकन बाय द इलेक्टेड लीडर्स, फ्री एंड फेयर इलेक्शंस, रूल ऑफ लॉ और सिटीजन्स राइट। These are the features of a democratic government. हमने देखा इलेक्शंस हो रहे हैं, चाइना में, लेकिन कोई मतलब नहीं उस इलेक्शंस का, वन पार्टी, तो पीपल मस्ट हैव मीनिंगफुल चॉइस। तो हम लोगों ने इन सारे डिस्कशन से डेमोक्रेसी के कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स को समझने की कोशिश की है कि डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट से हम किन किन चीजों की उम्मीद कर सकते हैं। नेक्स्ट अब हम लोग जो पढ़ेंगे वो पढ़ेंगे मेरिट्स ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी इन नेक्स्ट क्लास।